Whew. Where do I even start, guys? Today's topic is interesting, yeah? This child thing, man. I look at people having kids, and one thing I can say is they're so courageous, yeah? I think deciding to be a parent is the most courageous decision one ever makes. I don't know how people get that courage, because honestly, I don't have that courage. I don't think I have that courage, yeah? If I'm being honest, I have so many opinions about natalism. Before I go further, guys, this is a weird position for my phone, but I have no option. I came to this place here, let me show you guys, and forgot to carry my tripod, so you have to put up with this. It's this place with a river. If you know Sabaki River in Malini, this is the place. Then there's this chilling spot where I'm sitting. Yeah, so you have to put up with me staring down on you. It will only be a few minutes. I have things I need to talk about. Childbirth, natalism. It's quite an interesting topic. Honestly speaking, I don't have that courage of bringing life in this world. You'll know why in a few minutes. I mean, it's fun. People have so many reasons for having kids, and it's up to them. These are my opinions, and I'm not trying to impose them on anybody else. So if you want to have kids, it's fine with you, but for me, I don't think that I've ever come close to wanting to do that. When I was growing up, I always wanted, not really always wanted, but obviously you see everyone having kids, and of course I would want to have kids. Someday I just know, like, someday I'll grow up and have kids, because that's the norm, yeah? But later in life, when I think I started asking myself the hard questions that everyone asks themselves at some point in their lives, like, what's my purpose in this life? What am I doing here? And I realized that I have a long way before I figure that out. And from what I know, from the information I get from old people, just from being around old folks, they all say the same thing: you never figure it out. There's no point in life you'll reach and you'll be like, I figured it all out. You don't get to that point. So I feel like while I'm trying to find my purpose here and find out what I'm doing here, I don't feel like it will be right for me to bring life in this world. At no point do I foresee my future where I would feel like bringing life in this world would help my cause. I don't know if that makes sense. So I feel like having a child is pretty much a big deal, yeah? And it's not for me. I just decided that a long time ago. Not that I decided, but it's something that I've never thought of doing, as a grown up. It's never come in my head. You know how they say every girl or woman has the maternal instincts, the urge to procreate, have kids. I've never had that. This might come across the wrong way, but being around kids, I love that. I love my nieces, nephews, little cousins, and I love hanging around kids. But that decision of having my own has really never crossed my mind. I can't imagine myself as a mother, and I know everyone says that as a woman there's always that desire deep inside you. They say people deny it and whatnot. People have told me that you'll just get there, you'll have that urge to have a child, but yeah, if it comes, fine. But as for now, I've never gotten to that point. Like I was saying before, I feel like I need to find out my purpose in this life, where I fit in. And as you know, no one ever figures it out, and we are all doing trial and error, right? Everyone is doing trial and error until death. So I don't see the point of me having to bring life in this world to also try to figure out something that Nobody has ever figured it out. I feel like it's quite unfair. That is my opinion, yeah. I feel like it's quite unfair for me to bring someone on board into all this mess. And if I'm being honest, I think society is just shit. That's the way I see it. I'm not a pessimist or something. It's quite the opposite. I love life. I enjoy life. As of this moment, I'm in a good place in my life. I'm happy. But I still feel like it's not enough to warrant me to bring another life in this world. I don't know if that makes sense, yeah? But there's a conversation that people don't want to have yet. I don't know if people are ready to have that conversation, where it reaches a point in your life where you feel empty, you have no purpose, not really have no purpose, but there's that void inside you. And most people use children to fill that void. It's like instead of looking for your purpose, instead of facing existential crises, which everyone faces at some point in their lives, the void of life, people fill that with the marriages, relationships, kids. And from what I gather, every mother or every parent feels fulfilled by having kids. Yeah, it's like there's a void inside you that is filled by having children, which is a good thing. Yeah. I know that parents, especially mothers, they look at the world differently, like in a good way. They look at the life differently, the world differently. It's like it turns you into a different person in a good way. And it's a good thing, yeah. But I feel like most people try to escape something by having children. It's like you don't want to face the reality of the world. That's my opinion. I'm really sorry if I'm offending someone out there. It's like there's always this uncertainty. We don't know what we're doing here, leave alone the religious explanations. That's different thing to unpack. I don't believe in all those things, so that's a story for another day. If you're having kids for religious reasons, like God told you to fill the world, that's a different thing, story for another day. But for people who don't have like a religious basis to do things, I find it quite unrealistic for me to bring kids in this world. And many people are opinionated. When I've told my friends or people around me that I don't want to have kids, I have no desire to have children of my own, they are quite opinionated about that. Some tell me you'll be all alone, you'll reach you'll reach your 40s and you will regret. People are quite opinionated, which is I wish everyone would just respect the other person's opinions without trying to impose theirs. I would respect someone who wants to have kids, but whenever I tell someone, that's not for me, I don't want that, some people have even made suggestions that, I wish you get one by accident, then you'll know how it feels and you'll be like, I was gonna miss out on this, now you'll feel good. And you know what I tell them? I wish you never have one by accident, because it's like, how do you dish something and you can't take it? It's quite rude to tell someone that. Imagine if I went around telling people who desire to have kids that, I wish you can't have one, I wish you can't have one. Someone telling me that, I wish you have a child by accident. It's quite offensive, yeah? What do you guys think? What are some of your reasons for wanting to have a child? If I'm being honest with myself, I feel like I'm quite happy. I see life positively, contrary to what you might think from what I've said. Yeah, I see life in a positive way, and I want to explore life to the maximum for myself, to see what life has to offer, and having a child will not contribute to that. That's how I feel. It will not contribute to that. I feel like at some point I will need to make sacrifices for this person that I've brought here, and I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to make those sacrifices. And I've told people this before, and oh my God, I've been called so many horrible things. Someone told me I'm selfish, I'm very selfish for feeling the way I feel, for not wanting to make sacrifices. But I feel like it would be more selfish to bring a kid in this world and then not be there for them fully. I'm not mentally ready to have them, like financially, even in future. Like, yes, I might be financially able to take care of them, but still I would not want that, you know. I feel like it would be quite unfair to have them and not be there fully for them, mentally, emotionally, because I don't think I'll ever be at that point where I'm really mentally stable to have a child. And it roots from a very deep place. It's not just like a shallow thing, yeah. It roots from a very deep place in me, because I don't know how you're gonna interpret this, but I really don't feel like life is like worth it for me to bring someone else on board, you know. Like, yes, there are good moments, there are so many beautiful things in the world that I want to see all of those for myself. I want to experience everything for myself, but still it doesn't warrant me to want to bring someone else on board. I'm not selfish. I don't think I'm selfish for wanting that. I don't have like maternal instincts, but I'm great around kids. You know, it's a different thing. It's a different thing taking care of kids, you know, having a bond with them. Like, that's not a problem for me. The problem is being responsible for someone that I brought myself. Whew, I can't.